And we're back with another episode of Let's Play Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. I'm your host, the RPG Guy, and let's tackle Lionhead. Yay! You can tell that I'm thrilled about doing this here, because I hate this dungeon. No, I don't hate this dungeon. It's just, you get tired of doing these, because it's really just a gauntlet of dungeons back to back to back to back. Working Stiff. That's a great name. I forgot about that. Working Stiffs and the Mummy Lord. So anyway, yeah, no, you get kind of tired of, you know, doing these dungeons after a while, but you know, it could be worse. The other thing to take from this too, you notice I'm going after the Mummy Lord. I believe will be all that we need to kill here, hence why we're forcing ourselves to go for him first. Because much like the mummies we fought in the very beginning of the game, when they were in groups like this, you should be able to knock them out. Now, you'll notice they're fast as crap. They're getting turns in before everyone, even Jean's getting a turn. So, they're getting turns in before everybody, and they're going to drain our HP pretty badly. And that's just the way that goes. There's no real way around it. Hence why it didn't make sense to use any magic skills on them, because, yeah, it would just end in tears and suffering. Yeah, go after Ron. And you notice that, look at how much damage we have to do to even kill one. Yeah. Just to kill the one, it took that much effort. So, be prepared to burn some starlights down here. Try not to burn any silver lights. You don't need to. There's going to be a time and a place to burn silver lights, but if you're going to fight every enemy down here, be prepared for lots and lots of pain and suffering. Just because the enemies are now hitting like trucks, and not much you can do about that. But you'll notice that the regular mummies, enemies, the working stiffs as they called them, they're not fully out of the park as far as, you know, they're weak to melee attacks, which we are very good at. So that is a benefit. It's just that they're going to attack before we do most of the time, I believe. And so you're just kind of at the mercy of them, unfortunately. And I believe that there's only one other enemy type down here too, by the way. So, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, they're going to mute the party, and that's going to suck. But we do have the means to handle that. As you can see, they're not very strong. Look at that. Outside of the little bit of magic damage they took, we can hurt them pretty good, but then you have the enemy down on the end there. They're only weak to magic, and that's going to suck. Even though our characters hit really hard, it is a problem. And then, yeah, I don't know. The best thing I could say that you could probably do, maybe, is to just, because we can't use magic, so all we can do is use staff attacks. So we'll just gang up with physical on one, and then we'll use Lamina's staff on the other, but it's probably not going to help us that much. But it is what it is. I don't want to burn through our other character's MP very quickly, because that's going to add up really fast. And when I say add up, in other words, it won't add up to much. And, yeah. Come on, kill it. They should be able to, through physicals. There we go. That wasn't so bad, was it? Ron Far can do Anger Dice, why not? We should be able to kill this one before he gets an attack. But yeah, these guys are a little trickier. If Lamina doesn't get muted, I definitely would have her use like her cheapest single target magic, or even ice whatever it is, ice fangs might be okay. Single target ice attack at this stage of the game wouldn't hurt either. But you can see it's worth doing because the XP is pretty good. And again, as we keep traversing through the game, the enemies are just going to keep getting harder and harder and harder and harder. And if you keep running away from battles, if you keep ignoring, you know, what's coming up, you're going to have a bad day. You're gonna have a bad time trying to get through this game because the enemies are potent, and the whole point is this is add-on stuff, man. It was intentional for it to be somewhat difficult. So to ignore that aspect and be like, I don't like it, I don't want to have to work harder. I have no sympathy for that. I mean, I know there's strategies out there because I remember, well, it was a buddy of mine named David who played this, and he's like, oh man, I just ran away from all the fights and I used White Dragon Protect and just, you know, beat the bosses down and used Starlights the whole time. I'm like, okay. I get it. So what he did was he had his Chiro crests on 2 characters. One character fed Starlights to the person casting White Dragon Protect. And so I get what he's saying, and I get why he did it. I still think it's stupid, but it's like he was able to get through the game with his characters pretty much at like 52, 53, and he never really fought random battles in the bonus dungeons to get to the actual end of this game. So you can criticize that however you want. I don't see the point in criticizing what he did. It's a legit strategy, but there's no fun in it. There's no challenge. Where's the challenge? If you're just gonna run away or try to avoid every fight, I don't think that that's not a just strategy, because who cares about how you do it? You know, it's not like he broke the game to do it. He did it within the confines of the game. I just don't see a point in making a big deal about the fact that you can do that. But that is a strategy, is you can just White Dragon Protect your goofy ass through pretty much every battle in the game. And if you do that, you'll get some interesting results as far as like, oh look, I got through the game really easily. But that wasn't the way the game was designed to be played. And it's interesting to see the stats builds and stuff that we're getting for this. He also didn't do the dungeons that gave him items. He only went... So he didn't even do Lionhead, for example. He just went and did the... There's only... If you want the actual ending, there's only 3 dungeons you have to do. Okay, technically. Of the... What is it? 8 dungeons, I think, that are now... We now have to conquer. You don't have to conquer them, but of the 8 dungeons that are here, I believe you only have to do 3 of them. Right? Because it's Lionhead. Let me think. How many are there? Lionhead. The Brave, Labyrinth, Dragon's Nest. What was the other ones? Lost. I don't remember their names. The one in the Illusion Woods, the one in the Starlight Forest, and the one. That's that. So there's 7. No. Yeah, 7. Is that right? That sounds right. 7 or 8. I think it's 7 or 8. Regardless, there's not that many you have to do, and when you're doing them, it's, you know, what you can say, break it down however you want, but they're not that hard to do. And I want to get everything. Come on. You come to watch a Let's Play to just watch somebody kind of smooth through the big RPG experience? Fuck that. You want to see all the cool shit. Yo. Why am I doing that? Why? That's what I want to do. There we go. Anyway, you guys get the gist. I'm being a dick, by the way. If you use that strategy, who gives a crap? But I still find it kind of remotely hilarious that you could theoretically get through the game that way. As long as you own a crap ton of Starlights and you run away from every battle successfully, it wouldn't be too hard to accomplish that. But you would burn through a lot of silver to do that, and still do every dungeon. And theoretically, you could do every dungeon too. But I just don't see that as fun. I like the challenge of fighting battles. I like watching my characters grow and stuff. And I know I'm going on a tangent about it unnecessarily, but I think it's worth saying that, you know? Like, why play the game if you don't like the gameplay and you don't want to be immersed in it? And then again, maybe you're just trying to rush to the end too. I don't know. I'm being a stickler, but So So here's a new enemy type, because after this, I think there's no other enemy types that would be new. These are the last ones. So that meaning that you've seen all the enemy types there are. What you need to know about this enemy is that you don't want it to have a turn if you can avoid it. I think he gets a turn before Hero. So let's just see what happens. But you can see I'm actually putting a little more effort. Any enemy that looks like that is going to be the stuff of nightmares, by the way. Just letting you know. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. It's going to be one of these. Fuck. How come I can't remember? Yeah. Even the crit still did one. I don't remember anything about this. Oh no! Oh, that's not good. Then I think it's this dealie. So what I believe the issue is, or non-issue, depending on how you look at it. What I believe is going on here is that you have to use either special attacks or something like that to actually damage it. And it's not magic driven, it's special attacks, I think. Hence why I'm having everyone do one. There's an enemy in the game somewhere where the only way you can hurt it is to use a special physical attack. Let's see. Yep, it's this guy. Okay. Forgot where in the game they show up, but they're there. And they suck big floppy donkey dick.
I saved this for you, infidel.
You notice it's still alive, by the way. And you notice it did over 800 damage to someone. Yeah, they suck. They suck hard. Hard. So magic does nothing. Unless it's not elemental. So, yeah, now he's going to knock out another character, too. Let's see what happens. That is shit. If he takes out Leo or Hiro, we're going to use the triple strike. Or the big hit from Leo. Yeah, it's still alive. Ooh! So much pain. You know what, let's do... hopefully that kicks in. We don't need them to be alive for long. There we go. So there's a chance that that'll work, by the way. So that's probably the only time you'll ever see me use it. Unless we get into another position like this.
Taste my refreshment.
There we go. But they're worth 22,000 XP. Hence why I didn't run away from it. Yeah, so if you're underleveled, you found your another grinding option. Again, he's on the first floor. Gonna point out exactly where he is. I knew he gave a lot of XP. I didn't realize it was that much off the top of my head. So yeah, so lots of mummies. Let me go ahead and clear out some of these mummy menaces. Alright, so I cleared out the whole floor because it just gets to a point where it was fight after fight after fight. But I fought a turtle group that had mummies in it, and I fought another one of those demon eye things or death eye things that gave me a crap ton of XP. And we're moving to the next floor. I'm sorry, you know, in general, it's one of those things where it's like, it's a gauntlet of enemies, and there are no variations. This is it. It's just tons and tons of enemy fights, and it's just this is the dungeon we're in. I'm already stuck in 3, so I'm just gonna clean out this floor of enemies because there's so freaking many of them that to me it's apparent that needs to be done. So, oh jeez. Now they're showing up in different amalgamations, of course, but it's the same philosophy and principle. I just need to start getting my murder sword ready, and kill all these enemies. So, hang tight while I get working on that. Oh, so many battles, But yes, we cleaned out the floor. I'm now starting to tip into our Starlight Reserve, but luckily this is the last large floor, as the upcoming floors are going to be smaller and much more manageable. There were about 6 fights in here, plus one dark devil eye or dark eye or whatever the hell it was called. I think there was actually 2. No, there was just the one. But yeah, so I think a few less fights in the first room, so that doesn't hurt too much. And then this room being smaller, but you can already see it's riddled with rage, with so much rage. So let me clear out this room as well. I know this seems like a kind of like a cop-out to just like, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep the time on this not as long. And you kind of should know what my strategies are for a lot of this. And I just don't see the value of showing you 50, battles. Because yeah, there's about 8 to 10 fights per floor, and it's really just the same set of strategies. But yeah, but at least I'm showing you where one door leads to another and all that. And this floor, actually, the door is nearby, but I do want to clean out the room just to get an idea of what's in it, and then share that information with you. But yeah, it's just the 3 enemy types. They're not that hard to kill. Once you get a system down for killing them, but like anything, you see, that's the stairs to the next floor. But what else can we find? More mummies, but here's the deal: is it's all XP that goes to the horde. It goes towards us, and it goes towards our ability to output great damage and strength later. So I've already gained, I think, almost 2 levels being in this dungeon. I think we waltzed in here at level 57, and we're already approaching 59, just from the dark eye enemy alone, plus the 4 grand we get per battle. So 4 battles there is equivalent to 1 dark eye. So the fact that you would want to skip these is kind of weird and seems counterintuitive. But for the most part, it's very constructive in getting us through this dungeon as quickly as humanly possible. While trying to keep it, I'm trying to keep these dungeons condensed in an hour. They take longer than an hour to complete. So that's my thing. Is if I showed you every battle, this would be like an hour and a half long video per dungeon, if not longer. So kind of why I'm leaving it out, just in case people were wondering, because I think random battles are boring. I don't see why anybody would want to watch, an infinite amount of random battles. So that's my rationale for what I'm doing. And you can kind of just see the monotony in tackling dungeons where there's not much to show. They're just really big labyrinths for you to run around in and try to accomplish everything. So let me go ahead and clean out the enemies here, and then we'll move on. Alright, another floor down, another floor to go. Again, the floors are getting smaller, it's getting easier to navigate, but you'll notice that there's just a slurry of enemies. And here's the best part about this floor is there's no real offshoots. You can kind of see some of these little offshoots, but that's not really much of an offshoot. It's not like a labyrinth like the first 2 floors, and even the 3rd floor, if you didn't pay attention and you missed the stairway, you'd be like, where's the stairway? No, it gets easier as it goes on, which is one of the things that's kind of nice about this dungeon, is that, yes, it gets a lot easier as it goes on. And we're almost to the back end here, which is really, really good news because, MP's running low on a couple characters, but we have enough starlights to fill everybody back up. And for the boss fight that's at the end of this dungeon, we're going to need to do some equip prep, primarily because it's a boss fight that has only one particular weakness to exploit, and it's a big weakness to exploit. But you have to know how to exploit it, and you have to know how to protect yourself against what the boss can do to you. So it's more of an annoying fight, and some people argue it's one of the harder fights in the game. I'm more or less one of the people that say it's not that it's a harder fight. You just have to know how to approach it, and how to handle it. And you're gonna see pretty much one of the most ridiculous and silliest ways to handle it, because it is pretty funny how you can get through that fight. Not necessarily easily, but you can get through it, and that's what needs to be pointed out. So anyway, let me clean out this room of enemies really quick, and we'll get to the next floor. Alright, so cleared out the enemies. I used some starlights just to get us back up to near full. We're not actually at the room with the boss yet, but I just want to get most of it kind of restored, and then we'll use the rest of the starlights as needed to finish kind of everything off. But you'll notice this is a weird looking room. It's a weird looking room that has monsters that attack us, but at the same time, we're going to find chests and other items as we move around said room. So, it's just something we got to deal with. The boss fights here are very mild, if I can even say that. Yeah, they're mostly mild and uneventful. And we can probably hold back on some of the damage output, especially when fighting these enemies. But I think each one of these little rooms has a chest, and if it doesn't have a chest, it has a switch. And I think all of them have an enemy in it, and they're different. I don't think they're universally the same. So this is probably the longer part of this dungeon as far as visual. This is the shortest part of the dungeon outright. I'm going to say that right now. But we're finally going to get the fruits of our labor, the fruits of all the labor of fighting our way up here and everything. We're going to start finally reaping the benefit. We hit level 60 too, so all of that XP, we came in here I think at 57, and we've already gotten this far along. Is incredible how strong we've gotten. So really quick, let me grab it here. Ribbon. Once used by Mia Alsa. Aww. How the hell did it end up here? Did it fall off frickin'... Well, it couldn't have fallen off regular vein, so how did it get here? Anyway, so we'll press that. And it should give us access to another room. And again, you're going to see that there's enemies here, but not necessarily anything else of value. Other than the ability to move on. Now, again, here's a problem with this fight right out the door. Is that there is a lot of mummies. So many that it's actually lagging the freaking PlayStation down. But the big one is that, well, I'm using a PlayStation. I'm playing this on a PlayStation 2, but regardless. It was lagging it out there. But regardless, we're going to take a ton of damage, and if they all gang up on one character, it could actually knock a character out, which would be bad. So we need to hopefully be okay. Luckily, in that same breath, we've gotten new gear in the previous dungeon, so this damage only in the 40s, so they take about 80 HP each. As long as they keep after Leo and Hiro, that's fine. Those guys can wear hits on them like it's nobody's business, and it'll be cheap to heal them all the way back to full. So, but our goal again, go right after the lead mummy here. Don't even bother with the other ones. The only reason you would bother with the other ones is if you couldn't kill this one in one round, which I just bumped into that. Possibly. We still have a chance to kind of burn back here, rather. And the reason is that Ronfar is going to get to go, and he's going to have his boosted attack, and Lamina here can add some more damage to the fire. So hopefully he can get the kill. Yes, he does. So yeah, that's not too bad under those particular stipulations. That we can kill him at least before all those mummies get a second turn. If you can't do that, if that's on the too hard pile for good reason, as you saw, they can swarm you. Then kill them off regularly, because you'll even 5 levels lower, you should be able to off the weaker mummies in one attack from Hiro and Leo, maybe 2 from Jean, worst case. But here's the real reason too. There's more of these guys. I love these guys. They give me so much delicious XP. I can't help myself. I start sounding like Bobcat Goldthwait when I fight. Oh, I can't wait to kill more. I can't do it. I can't do it very well. But yeah, so easy fight, easy XP, I say. And then there are hills. Speaking, I think, earlier of floors, I'd like to repeat. This is definitely one of them. That mummy fight is a little mundane, but The ability to fight these guys is just so great. Boom shakalaka. Yeah. Alright, so. Miracle Bandana. Let's see. Made of holy cloth. Yeah, they're not as witty as they were in the beginning of the game. But look at that. Woo! Lowers his magic defense by 1, but increases everything else by 4. 4-ish. Except defense. Defense is 3. That's a nice piece of gear for Ronfar. And he hasn't had much luck getting better gear in a while. So it's kind of nice to see him actually get a piece of gear that's legitimately good. Not to say that he doesn't get good gear, but it's like that. It's been a while since any character's gotten a piece of gear that is that noticeable. So you can see I tried to run around. You could run around him, I believe, but you still run into that issue of, are you going to be able to get anything else out of it? May as well do that. And because this fight is riddled with these dudes, may as well just use Catastrophe. That'll grant enough damage that we could possibly give a lot of these guys. You know, we'll also use Crack Zone. Because as much as I love Leo, he's just not going to he only gets 2 swings, whereas Hero and Jean get 4 right now, so that they're just not. It's not gonna do much good. His 2 attacks, even though they're very strong, is not gonna be near as useful. And Jean doesn't have magic attacks, so that's really her best option. And then hopefully Crack Zone will give us the rest of the damage we need. We have about, I think, 8 Silverlights left, so Starlights left rather. So I'm not hyper concerned about how much we have. I'm more concerned about what's coming up. As far as making sure we have enough. Lun's Armlet. Well, I guess that's gonna obviously be for Jean. And proof of martial art powers. Probably an attack bonus? No, just defense. So, yay! Alright, let's keep moving, because we still got more rooms to go. Luckily, I think we only got 2 more rooms left. And, woohoo! Holy Shield. I believe that's for Leo, yeah. And it'll raise his magic defense, which for him, he definitely needs. Sweet. And we're obviously not getting out of this fight. So we're almost there, guys. So close yet so far. And it's another one of these. Great. You know, let's try something a little different, just out of curiosity. I am curious. I want to see what happens. Another Catastrophe. I just want to see if Hero's Vortex would actually do enough damage. Mega damage. You have mental damage. I'm total dick, I know. Super Cyclone.
Wind.
Okay, so that might be a better way to deal with them. Hit up a Catastrophe with that. It's so much MP though. Yeah, I know. But what else you gonna do, you know? Alright. I mean, would you want to sit there and just take hundreds and hundreds of damage and spend the same amount of MP overall to heal all that? No, I didn't think so. So, it makes more sense to me. And so, you can see that we are out on the face of the lion here, which is kind of cool. Alright. We get Hero's Bromide, which we'll look at right now. Which is the only bromide I believe you can find of his, I think? But yeah, there he is. Hehe. Go Hero! So yeah, it's kind of interesting that I think the only character that doesn't get a bromide is Ronfar. Because there's one for Leo. It's the mystery one, right? But I don't remember there being one for Ronfar. Or, you know what? I could be wrong on that. But I'm pretty sure there isn't one. So it's kind of funny. If my memory does serve me right, it is kind of funny that he's the only one that doesn't get one. Right, so we need to heal ourselves all the way back up to full MP. Everybody needs to be pretty much full MP, no matter how you break it down. And we gotta... I'm not gonna worry about 3 MP. I don't mean it that literally. But we do need to get everybody mostly back up here. That's a little less. That's fine. I'm not gonna sweat it. And then we gotta make some changes. So... this is something I didn't tell you I was doing. I wanted to surprise you with it. I thought it'd be funny as hell. What we're doing here is we are using White Dragon on Jean. Ronfar is good as is, because we want to make sure he always goes first. Lamina, as much as I want her to always go first, we're not going to need her to do it. And Leo's getting 2 as well. So you're noticing a trend here. Everybody's getting lightning magic. Why? We're really getting it for, use against earth and water. What? Meh. Anyway, we're using it primarily for Thunderbolt. Everything else we don't really care about. Thunder Thrust. You guys remember that from Lunar 1? So anyway, the point is that we're giving magic to all of our attackers, and we're specifically giving them lightning magic, which is very, very relevant. Alright, we're ready to move on here. I made a save, because this is one of the trickier fights to deal with, as you can clearly see. I believe everything else is okay, so let's go and get this done, because you can't grab those other chests unless you do it. So, here we go, the Devil Eye. Reep, deep, deep. And all we want to do is blast him with Thunderbolt, because it's the only thing that he's weak against. And that is not a joke. That is not me being silly. That's the only thing he's weak against. And that's why Lamina is not using White Dragon Protect right now. That's literally the only reason we're not giving it to her, is because we need... she will do the most damage to that thing possible. And you have to rely on her to do that. The only negative, she's going to constantly attack last. And there's not much we can do about that. But yeah, this guy's pretty annoying. He's got over 10,000 HP, so let's keep some track of some numbers here of how much damage we can actually do to it. No! But it's defended. Yay.
Cower before me.
So that's 1,000 right there. I'm just going to round it. That's 1,000. Yeah, so that's really the best we can do. So we're doing about 1,500, 15 to 1,700 right now. The other thing we could do is if we get a free turn like we're gonna get right now. So you can see we're getting a free turn. I want to do some stuff that'll help us with the free turn, because he targeted us, which is fine. I think he's gonna AoE hit us this time. Which is fine. Ronfar is the only one that's gonna take damage, and then Jean can throw up the dragon skill again.
Thunder Blast!
We just need to make sure that we keep our eyes on Jean's MP. Oh no, never mind. You single targeted us.
Cower before
I'm okay
me.
with that. So we're pretty much at about 1,500 damage. We gotta do about 8 rounds of this survival shit. So, and as you can see, that did very little. That's the only reason why I put it up, just to kind of show you that there's not much to it here. I don't know if it doubles down, but sure, why not? Wait, what? Okay. We'll have Jean defend. And do some more shockers.
I love this! Thunder Blast!
So this boss battle is actually a big bore on its own as well.
Cower before me.
That's a lot of damage. So now we got to put up the Dragon Protect again, which is fine by me. We're not going to probably need to heal, so let's do Anger Dice. Well, yeah, Anger Dice. Since he's going to be hitting somebody. Now, next round for sure, somebody's going to need to give Jean maybe we may not need to use a silver light, so we'll hold off. But let's see what happens next. I have a feeling we're going to need to give her at least a starlight, possibly something on top of that as well. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't kind of come to that. I don't think it will, but you never know sometimes.
Cower before me.
Okay, come on. Alright, so really quick, same skills. Yeah, we'll do a starlight there. A starlight on herself. That should give her enough to keep going here. Without sacrificing damage output, which we don't ever want to do
Good thing I planned
this
ahead.
early.
Gift of power!
Thunder Blast!
Cower before me.
Lightning blast!
Come on. Woohoo! Alright, so Jean has enough for 3 more casts of the ability in question, so we're good. This battle's pretty much decided. He can't get it. We're not even giving him a break, so we'll be good. We'll be good.
White Dragon Shield!
Thunder Blast!
Cower before me.
Lightning blast!
Alright, let's see here. $32, so that's too much. Should only be another round or so.
Lady Luck, be kind!
He's got to be almost dead.
Blue Dragon Hole!
Thunder Blast!
And he's toast. And Hiro gains a level, Leo gains a level, which means Ronfar and the ladies of our group will be leveling again as well very soon. So we get a silver light, a healing ring, and the Fierce Fist, which is the best thing to come down here for. But you would think that it's better, but look at that. It's actually not. Speculation. This weapon is fueled by rage. Yeah, it's not better than the Crushing Fist, which we got elsewhere. So, but what we really came up here for, though, in all fairness, was the other gear. So, yeah, you could avoid that fight if you want, but again, delicious XP, and I'm kind of a dick. But yeah, so we got a weapon. It's meh, but whatever. Let's get out of here. We're done. Let's skedaddle before I decide to want to grind here or something. No grinding allowed. No grinding allowed! Alright, so... we're making progress, guys. We're mostly done. We're not done, but we've got another optional one to do. As far as optional, meaning that you don't need to do it, but there's no reason not to. And what we need to do is we actually need to get to the Illusion Woods. Is going to be our next stop. And when we get to the Illusion Woods, there is a place that is kind of interesting to explore there. And you're going to want to explore it because it's kind of cool. But we do need to recover our starlights because we're running out of starlights. And you notice what's going to be great is that we have so many freaking silver lights. It's just hilarious to see how many we have. Not to see how many, but it's just hilarious that we have so many. And we're not hurting. You notice, though, it's going to be a burden on our items very soon here. We don't need the White Fang. We really don't need these other elemental staffs. But I'm going to just hold on to them anyway because there's nowhere to buy them. Just in case I change my mind and want to use one. I won't have to worry about that. We're going to hold on to the Chaos Armor. But we are going to sell the Aura Bandana and these two Holy Hairpins. And whatnot. So we can now go back to our original setup as well, by the way. Of what we had on prior. But yeah, mostly figured that out. Wasn't too hard. Give her that. And where's Leo? I believe that's what we had on before. Yeah, I believe that's what we had. So yeah. All back to normal there. So where was the Illusion Woods might be your question. Well, it's all the way back towards, I want to say East Noda. The place with the big bridge. You got to go even that far back. You got to go pretty far back. It's a bit of a pain in the butt to get to it. Whoops, I don't know why I came in here. But it's a bit of a pain in the butt to get to. We'll use the little bit of extra time we have to get to that location. That way you guys don't have to worry about, you know, me just appearing there. This one, mainly because you gotta trek a bit to get to it. That's the only reason why I'm suggesting it. So, we'll come through here. And then, I believe... Go through here. Wait a minute. Is this it? This can't be it. No. This is bandit butt. Bandit butt. Okay, no. We need to go down to where the Star Dragon Tower thing is. So we gotta go back this way. Easier said than done to get there, right? Okay, so let me rethink how I gotta do this. That's the only negative to this game in a mild way is you gotta really plan out how you're gonna get to where you want to go. And then you got to remember how to backtrack all the way to the earlier parts of the game. We could just walk through Takar, but I'm kind of lazy and don't want to, because we still do need to figure out how to. Let's go back this way really quick. Probably the fastest way to do this is to really go this way. It's the only thing I can think of, because we can come in here. And cut through here. Here we go. So here be the Forest of Illusion. Yay, or Illusion Woods, whatever you want to call it. Now we gotta walk through here. We gotta re-navigate through this place. So It's kind of a weird thing, I know. But, yeah, there's not much I can really offer you than that, which means there's going to be enemies here that I can just wipe. So I'm just going to pretty much wipe them with melee attacks. We're not going to use any magic. No reason to use magic at all. No need to be wasteful. Just, you know, do the thing. But my goal here is to just get through here really quickly to a certain area that we were in later. So I'm going to go to that area, but now that you know where the Illusion Woods is and how to get there, all you got to do is work your way to the scene where Hiro saw, what's her name, Lucia, in the lake there swimming. That's pretty much where we're going. So anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. I'm your host, the RPG Guy. When we come back, we're going to be hitting the next side dungeon, which is known as, infamously as, the Lost Labyrinth. We'll see you guys there. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/JackTardStudios, all one word. And you can watch all of our different shows that we have on that channel and everything else. All right, now, thank you, and we'll see you guys next time. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please take a moment to check out more episodes from the RPG Guy, Tuesday Night Team Up, and more. And please subscribe. Always support the channels you enjoy watching, and while you're at it, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Keep on gaming hard. See you next time.